The middleweight division is finally picking up steam for some entertainment. Jared Cannonier fighting Isreal Adesanya has been confirmed by the champ himself. This is going to be a fight that fans are going to look forward to, given how both of these fighters are more strike-oriented than every other art of fighting.
Jared Cannonier. I like the guy. He's the dark horse of division. I've set him up twice now to try and fight me, and he fumbled, but this time he didn't. He's ready to rumble.
Actually, I already come up with a new prediction for this next fight. And we're going to turn Isreal Adesanya into Easy. It's going to be Easy Adesanya.
Going into Cannonier's UFC 271 matchup with Derek Brunson. Brunson was riding high after 5 straight wins that coincided with him dyeing his hair to become Blonde Brunson. Cannonier predicted he'd change Blonde Brunson into Blood Brunson, and he did just that, smashing the top-ranked middleweight contender with elbows in the second round.
I was in there with Soul Brother Jared. He goes out there and he knocks Derek Brunson cold with that elbow and bang, and hits him with his back fist to knock him out. He is the #1 contender.
What is next for Jared Cannonier?
Dana, I want that shot next. I get the shot next. It's me, nobody else, me. Okay? All right.
Later on in the night, the champion, Isreal Adesanya, defended his title successfully in a hard-fought rematch with Robert Whittaker. Adesanya controlled the pace in the first round, hitting Whittaker with a vicious leg kick and knocking him down with a strike. Whittaker landed some offense in the second round and landing some impactful strikes. But Adesanya still did damage, and his speed was a constant problem for Whittaker. Whittaker likely won that 5th round, but Adesanya controlled the majority of the fight, and the next challenger for Adesanya is set, as he looks forward to defending the title against Jared Cannonier.
I'm the big dog in the yard now, and I know the other dog, Jared Cannonier, did some work tonight, so yeah, I'm pissing in this cage next time in June. Watch me.
UFC 276 card, which is looking to be just absolutely fireworks. Isreal Adesanya versus Jared Cannonier, which everybody already knew it was probably going to happen. Two of the most capable strikers in the middleweight division going at it.
I already have something to focus on. Getting in the gym is easy as it always is because I love coming here, but when you come in here and really focus on something, it's just like having a head start in the race. I feel like I'm spending all this time now preparing for anything he can present to me, his size, his length, his skill. I'm sure Izzy gets a kick out of the prospect of whooping me in my own town, but I also get a prospect of whooping him in front of my tribe, if you will. Decapitated head up and showing it to the fans and out there in the crowd.
Cannonier made his UFC debut as a heavyweight in 2015. His fighting weight peaked at 241 pounds at UFC Fight Night in Croatia 2016, and despite earning a knockout and his first win in the UFC, Cannonier knew that his long-term prospects would be much better at a lower weight. After a year of that grind, Jared moved down to light heavyweight. He has a long, hard jab that is fairly active. He likes to be stalking his opponent, testing reactions, and mixing in that fast jab, and never failed to hold his own in exchanges with power shots.
Big John McCarthy waves it off. Cannonier literally hit Rorik with almost everything he threw and finally got him out of there.
In late 2018, Cannonier debuted at 185 pounds, and the move has already paid huge dividends. Cannonier showed against Branch the combined powers of determination, strength, and excellent conditioning. He was throw with power punch and knock him out in round 2.
Oh, my goodness, Cannonier hits hard. That's it. Wow. Cannonier's got some power.
Jared Cannonier is exciting because Jared Cannonier has also been in there with Anderson. If you remember when he fought Anderson, his approach was a little different than what we're used to seeing. And he's so powerful that he landed those outside kicks that ultimately blew out Anderson's knee.
Cannonier's super dangerous. He could leave himself pretty open sometimes from a distance coming in, but I wonder how the leg kick's going to work out for him. I wonder how he's going to be able to crowd Adesanya and start to pick off on his shots because he is pretty precise.
Cannonier really committed to his distance kickboxing. Against Jack Hermansson, it worked beautifully. He pretty actively checked Hermansson's kicks and kept his head moving to avoid the counter jabs.
Oh, that was a good uppercut. Hermansson looked like he's hurt here.
Cuts it ground and pound.
Oh! Wow!
Cannonier gets it done!
Cannonier was scheduled to face former UFC middleweight champion Robert Whittaker at UFC 254. The fight took a sharp turn. Whittaker's relied heavily on his jab to Cannonier. Later in the fight, that same right high kick clipped the temple of Cannonier, nearly finishing him. Unfortunately, Cannonier lost the fight by a unanimous decision. Defensively, Cannonier is something of a risk-taker. He wants to be the fighter moving forward, and this has troubled him against more technical strikers in the past.
That's Jared being so physically strong and so physically gifted. His ability to see things and to punch and find spots are so much better than anyone I've seen in the octagon.
The Killer Gorilla, Jared. Hopefully, I get that title shot. But the right name might make me say yes.
One of the most dominant UFC champions, Adesanya has long tabbed Cannonier as a potential opponent, and now the matchup will finally come to fruition in July.
He's the dark horse of the division. He's the guy that everyone sleeps on. He looks like he belongs at middleweight. And he's good. But his last fight, he knocked out Brunson, and I'm a man of my word. I was like, you beat him, and you got the next shot.
Adesanya's arsenal that is more common among excellent kickboxers is hand trapping. He's quite willing to reach out and jam up one of his opponent's hands, which can lead to a lot of different offensive opportunities for Adesanya.
I see you guys creeping on my Instagram. Don't think I don't see you. You're watching me, and I've been watching you. But then when you run up on me, you act like you don't know me. Well, you know who I am now.
Adesanya is hugely confident in his range control. His usual reach advantage largely limits his pose option. It's much easier to pull off beautiful slips and rolls when his opponent can only hope to reach him with straight punches and maybe a kick.
I've fought over 100 fights in my career, so I'm kind of like in the stride of my prime right now. I want to fight as much as I can while I still can. You never know.
Izzy said, don't take too much from this fight, because that does not mean that I have given you the blueprint to how to beat me. Izzy found the shot to put him out. I mean, great job by the last Stylebender.
I mean, I gave you guys a show, so, you know, we're going to the next level now. And now you can see, like, oh, I'm a bona fide star. And I know I am. I know I've got the it factor. I just came out here dancing, knocked the guy out, collect a couple bags.
At the UFC 234, Isreal Adesanya won the legendary former champion Anderson Silva in a unanimous decision.
Hey, Rob, heal up quick. Calvin, put that belt down. Seriously.
Isreal Adesanya is going to be fighting Kelvin Gastelum for the UFC interim middleweight title.
Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum went to war that night in one of the best fights in UFC history. Stylebender won the interim UFC middleweight championship. There was a lot that was going on in the mind of Adesanya that night.
Oh, Kelvin's in real trouble.
You cannot make a mistake with a striker that's as sharp as Isreal Adesanya. And right now, he's got Kelvin just guessing.
Isreal Adesanya, he's that type of guy. The performance against Robert Whitaker was out of this world. Isreal just did everything right.
Notably, Adesanya always retreats without breaking stance, which makes it easier to fire back the counter right hand. As a result, he was able to fire back hard uppercuts from either side while his opponent attempted to regain his positioning.
Just a fantastic performance by Adesanya. And is not a guy that is known for a one-strike knockout guy.
I did what Romero couldn't do in 10 rounds. I did it in 2. Man, it's honestly unreal. I've said this for so long. They said I don't have no knockout power. You too skinny, bro. I told you, it's player one. This is my cage, and I could just tell. When I'm having fun, I'm the best in the world. This is my game.
We have to see if Izzy can stand up to that type of pressure. He's never fought anybody like this. Paulo's very big. His range won't have to be so similar. This is a tough fight.
Isreal Adesanya shut up Paulo Costa on main event, UFC 253 in a dominant defense of his middleweight title, winning by TKO in the second round.
Isreal Adesanya remains the class of the 185-pounder.
Middleweight champion Isreal Adesanya rematched against Marvin Vettori for defended his third title. He used the threat of his right leg to set up the low kick against the southpaw, and the strikes are more damaging as a result. Adesanya controlled the majority of the fight, winning via unanimous decision, with all three judges scoring the fight 50-45.
I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen with this whole COVID shit, but we need to run that back in Auckland. I'm the motherfucking king, bitch.
You can't do anything stupid with Edison, and I believe that Jared Cannonier, as in tune with himself as he is today, is not going to make any mistakes against Adesanya.
I feel like Jared Cannonier can bring the best out of Isreal Adesanya. As the middleweight stand, Jared Cannonier is the right person for that, because he's not going to come out of his shell. Where I feel like when you fight a Jared Cannonier who's going to pressure him, who's going to try to make this fight ugly, who's going to try to use his strength, some of the things that he has as pluses or positives over Izzy, we'll see the Isreal Adesanya that we're looking for in these big fights.
Izzy was the guy that's flashy. He goes out and has that performance, you're going to see a massive amount of people just fly to him.
All I want to do is just fight and take away all the top guys in my division right now. So when it's all said and done, they can be like, look, and you can never say, anyone, you can ask, I never turn down any fight. Any fighter, anyone that wanted it, they can get it.
He picks his shots. He sees things coming. He counters so beautifully. He's relaxed. He's dancing. His feet are always planted. He's always in position.
I'm going to get that belt. I'm going to raise it, show it to the fans, show it to the world, then I'm going to set it aside and go back to work. Here we are.